I like better. Now throughout this whole experience there's obviously lots of things happening, and with elephant especially, I've photographed a lot of elephant over time and always enjoyed photographing them, even though they can be quite difficult to photograph. Not so much in obviously it's impressive to see a big elephant, but there's certain ways that elephant over time, for me at least, have offered almost iconic compositions or very powerful compositions if you photograph certain parts of the elephant. In this specific angle, it happened for 2 seconds or 3 seconds only. I managed to get 2 frames, I think, of it, of which one came out nice. Is one that I've always loved. I've taken a number of elephant photographs in a similar way that were very powerful for me, and it's got a lot to do with composition. If you look at the angles of the ear and the eye and just the way it fits together, this specific way of looking at an elephant through a lens has always been beautiful to me. In this specific case, I've used the word specific a lot of times now, but with this cow, there's many things that are powerful about her, and there's certain things that make her easily recognizable. In this case, the ear markings played a big role there, and yeah, I was just very happy when I saw this moment and captured something that I've done with other elephants before and had the opportunity to do with her as well. Of course, then things that change quite quickly after that, when suddenly you had the opportunity to realize that any second now, as we can see there's going to be a leopard appearing right behind the elephant. And again, coming back to those choices where you've got a very small window of time to photograph different things, this was quite a tough one for me. Something else happened into it which made it even more fun and exciting for me as well, from a photographic point of view, or how shall I put it, not just a photographic opportunity, but trying to tell that story. When Aubrey, who I've known for a number of years, is a good friend of mine as well, arrived with the vehicles, and suddenly it adds a whole different dimension into the story. Which I quite enjoyed, but during that specific case, amongst all those other decisions, I decided to use the elephant to try and move or block, if you want, the view of the people in the background. And that is what I mean with the very small and the very subtle movements of the camera lens. In this case, I only had to move about a foot or so to the left, and it gave you a very different photographic opportunity. Again, one of those images that as I took it, I was very excited to be there. It was an incredible experience. And all the technical things considered and aside, all the composition and camera equipment and everything else, to see something like that and to be able to capture it, freeze it in time and be able to share it with people was something I was very excited about. And again, maybe like you saw just now with the elephant and the leopard and the ears, the different little depths, the small differences you make in where you decide to view things from, make a great deal of difference in the emotion or the feeling that you get from the picture. Now the other thing in the FCC that's quite cool is that you've got a chair that can turn around. I'm not going to play with that more now because it's not grown up and all that, but I think that brings us to the end of tonight's talk. As I said, we are going to learn a lot more about this, and from this I'm certainly going to still learn a lot of different ways and new ways to discuss this with you, but it's something I'm very excited about. I truly look forward to talking more about photography. I'm going to learn a lot in the process. Whenever I've spoken to friends of mine that are photographers or enjoy photography, and you play with the cameras, you inevitably learn more about it. And even just talking about it like I did tonight, it made me reevaluate and rethink a few things, and ultimately that's what experience is, and that gives us a better understanding and hopefully a better ability to capture moments down the line. So I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us tonight. I look forward to doing more of these in future. I look forward to hearing back from many of you as well, what you thought of tonight in terms of the experience, what you're curious about in terms of photography, and over the next many months and years we'll talk about lots of those and we'll talk about lots of other stories as well, like yesterday afternoons, that we can share through still images as well. I wasn't planning on this beforehand, but I think, what do you guys think? Director and camera person, did I introduce you properly earlier? Not? Sheesh, like luckily that big stick is this side, otherwise you guys could get hold of me because they're just over there. Pete was directing for us tonight, and I don't mean that in a funny way. He was up to the last minute helping me set things up here and setting it up because you know me and computers and my fingers. Pete, thank you much, and also for noticing the sound and things like that. It's nice to know. Check from that side, Leishan behind the camera, and all of you for joining us. Thank you very much again for a special evening. I was going to ask you, and then I realized I forgot to introduce you. Should we play that clip again, you think? The one from Beethoven.
There's a green one, so have you played the green one?
The green one?
Yeah, that's the Beethoven.
Yes, that's the Beethoven one. Yes, I played it earlier. Keep in mind, Beethoven wrote that when he was deaf already.